I'm Matt Nesto, the editor-in-chief at PYMNTS.com, and I'm happy to be joined today by the head of global commerce at Blackhawk, Brett Narlinger. Brett, great to have you on.
Thank you so much. Good to see you again.
So yeah, likewise. So the year of the gift card, it's out there. It's a different year, but there's a whole new retail set of constraints that we're dealing with in 2021 versus those a year ago. How do you contrast and compare the shopping gifting environment this year versus last?
Yeah, look, I think, gift cards have been a relevant kind of a relevant gifting experience and been one of the top for years. But this last few years has definitely been interesting to watch. Last year it was, we can't really go out, so we have to stay in and we have to utilize gift cards. And we saw a huge spike in that behavior last year. This year, we kind of assumed, and I had to reflect. I was thinking back when we were doing our planning processes to go, what do we think is going to happen this holiday? And one of the things we had in our thought was that we should be in a COVID-free environment. The vaccine will be here, everything will be fine. And we kind of woke up and said, nope, it's still here. And actually, it's starting to spike again this holiday. So that was one. And now we've got this second one, which is supply chain, some of the lingering effects of the pandemic. Amazing to me. And for those of you who have seen off the ports and we've seen the pictures, and I was actually in LA a couple of weeks ago and had a chance to look out. It's unbelievable what we're seeing. Boats sitting out in the waters, shipping containers stacking up, lack of staff, and just all of these shortages we all know about are creating another reason why we think we're going to see another big pop for gift cards, both in our physical environments and in our digital side. But yeah, now we're talking to consumers and they're telling us as much as 41% of their holiday shopping is going to be via gift card. And that the average consumer is going to be purchasing 15 gift cards this year. I mean, that's an unbelievable number. You're talking about a sizable increase, 50% increase over 20. That's almost a 200% increase over 2019. So we all of these things combined are putting us in that sweet spot. That coupled with the fact that we don't necessarily have supply chain issues, it's going to be a good year for us.
Let's drill down into that increase in gift card buying. Are there industries or business types that are doing better or worse than others? I know, there's been talk last year and throughout the year of, the support local. And so that can skew towards restaurants and other local businesses. So tell me, where is the increased buying being pointed?
That's a great question. So we think certainly as we see the COVID and the restrictions come back, certainly dining, it contracts a little bit. And we're starting to see people less likely to go out even over the next couple months. But again, we do expect that to come back. So we're seeing dining come back, no question about that. We are certainly seeing local, especially around the dining area, really become one where we're trying to support our local establishments. We're also seeing a pop on our multi-branded cards. So those where we're giving choice, we're making kind of gifting fun again, which is, I don't know exactly what I want to give you, but I know that you're interested in gaming, so I give you something along that line. Or I know you're kind of a retail junkie, so we came out with a retail therapy card to give people choice. But then we've also created giving good. So this is the one that's really important right now. We're seeing this holiday, over 60% of the consumers are telling us they'd love to be able to give back something this holiday season. So we've created a line of multi-merchant giving good cards, whether it supports Habitat for Humanity, Wounded Warrior, and we're giving 3% of those purchases back. And the intent to buy on that is approaching 70%. So consumers are really focused on, I want to give a gift, but I want it to mean something. I either want it to be fun or I want it to be something that gives back. And so those are the areas we see. We're also seeing a good pop back into mass merchant and grocery, which is interesting to see. So I think we'll continue to see those rise, and then we'll head into next year and hopefully we'll start to see entertainment and travel, those things start to really pop. We've seen that little pops on it now, but we'll see what happens with some of the new COVID issues popping back up.
So you talked about supply chain and, the container ships, backed up at the ports. And we all know that, inventories are lean. We see it in supermarket shelves already, et cetera. But we also have this other side of thing, which is the pricing, which is driving prices higher. So things have gotten more expensive. And then the third leg of the stool is this delivery problem. Everybody's promising, delivery, whatever it is that's going to be in the box if it's can get in there. So how do you rationalize all those three? I know you guys are prepared for a spike in business, but all three of those things would seem to be tailwinds.
Yeah, they are. And certainly on the inflationary side, as we start to see prices go up, we're starting to see the average purchase go up. We're starting to see that people are recognizing they need to give a bigger gift, a little bit more of a dollar value to be able to purchase the intent things they want to give. So we're seeing that for sure.
And the other thing too, and I'm sorry to cut you off there, but just that's how my brain works. The thing with inflation is, you can wait. So we'll see how the holiday actually plays out. The forecasts are ominous, as forecasts tend to be, but maybe the gift card holder will be really well poised or well positioned come January, come white sale time.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the other side to it, is we think that it'll go further, and especially as we start to see that dollar go further with the gift card, as people are utilizing those and redeeming those in the first quarter. So yeah, we're equally excited about that. And I think the other part of your question is, as far as tailwinds, is that consumer behavior, and how do we think about delivery times and shipping concerns. We agree. We're seeing this massive shift. We talked about it last time we got together around digital, and this huge pickup around digital. And we're seeing increased penetration rates there. The intent on digital purchasing, both of not just gift cards, but gifting in general, is skyrocketing right now. We'll continue to watch that, led by Gen Z and millennials. Over-indexing above 60% are going to be shopping digitally. But we also see that as a benefit, because many of our partners are now really embracing omni-commerce. They're really getting behind the fact that they can't just sell gift cards in their store. They have to have a digital experience as well. And we have one of the most robust ones out there. So we're doing that tailwind, being ready for that digital experience. Plus, we're also issuing digital gift cards to a lot of our clients, like the Starbucks and the Roblox of the world. And so as they continue to move those direct, we're able to do that almost real time in digital, and be able to put those in wallets and give that consumer choice to spend that way as well.
Does Blackhawk have any, skin in the game or preference for in-store versus online? I mean, you mentioned omni-channel. It just seems like you guys are agnostic, right in the middle of the road.
Yeah, agnostic. We want to be where the consumer wants us to be, period. So, and that's the support we're giving to our retailers. If a consumer wants an in-app solution, we want to be there. If a consumer wants an e-commerce solution on the desktop, we want to be there. If they want a physical solution, if they want a digital experience in the physical location, we want to be there. And so we're agnostic. Our goal is just to provide that gift card to the consumer through our retail partnerships.
What are your thoughts on returns? It's a huge problem for online retailers.
And that, I think, is really going to be the crux of what happens this holiday season. So I think the last holiday readiness and holiday research we did says that 40% of consumers get a bad gift. You're looking at 70% of those really don't want to go do that exchange, whether they don't want to go back in the store because of the pandemic. They don't want to go back because selection at that point in time is going to be very, very dismal. And so we think that that's going to be one where we see just that entire process is going to be a drag, and it's not going to be fun for consumers. And again, another really good reason why we're seeing so many have this intent toward gift cards, so they have choice, come January, where they don't have to go through that return and exchange process.
There's a stigma, and there's some jokes about gift cards. They're considered thoughtless by some, and yet we still see them growing, and we see innovation and tweaks. Amazon recently did their thing where you don't even need the address. You can just gift somebody something, and then they get a little email that says, "Hey, you've been gifted this thing," and then you can anonymously accept or decline the gift, and get the value if you want to, which is saving them that whole delivery headache. Talk to me about innovation and just sort of destigmatization of gift cards.
Yeah, absolutely. And we continue to be thoughtful about that. We want to make sure that we understand. And I think we've talked about this concept that we have, which is the spectrum of intimacy, which is, if I give my wife a gift card, it better be meaningful. It better be something that's, not too, something that she doesn't find interesting. If I give her a gift card to a jewelry store, my wife's going to be pretty happy. And then, but as you move down that path of that intimacy side, where if I give something that's fun and branded, or giving back, or maybe it's for supporting local and giving her choice, that's pretty cool. If I'm giving a gift to my son that's called Game and Grub, the product we came out that's got Xbox in the middle, and a lot of brands that are around that Game and Grub type of solution, that's fun. My son saw that card and said, that's a fun gift card. I like that. So I can give that to him and he's excited about it. But then it's just that focusing back on, so it's not just innovation around how we bring gifting, but it's also the innovation of how we bring a digital experience to a consumer. So whether it's the fun part of being able to real time send a text message to somebody and say, hey, I'm on my Apple device, I send a text message and I can send you a Starbucks gift card just to say thank you, and you're able to receive it, put it in your wallet and spend that. And all the way down to things like we're starting to experience Teams and Zoom now more than ever. And so in Teams, we can now deliver an electronic gift card to the team, the folks that are on that meeting or a part of a team, and being able to do that. So we're trying to come up with ways to, again, back to that point of finding that consumer where they are, being able to do that. But a lot of what we're working on right now is just how do we pivot to having a really fun gifting experience when people want to give a gift for holiday. Also to how do we make that part of branded payments at the point of sale and be able to really proliferate the brand and having their branded currency inside their digital wallet. Now that we're seeing digital wallets pop up, we want to put their branded currency in that wallet for them to be able to use on an ongoing basis. Starbucks is another great example of that. We've seen people who constantly are using their Starbucks gift card and topping up. We're seeing that same experience across the gaming segment. We're starting to see it across the dining segment. So we're actually focused now on not just the gifting side, but the ongoing use case for self-use.
You know, there's a built-in bias for handing over a tangible thing, a plastic card. As much as it's, you know, worthless, it's that number, it's something, it's, you know, hi, I have a thing. And, you know, you guys have your kiosks and it's a great system. It works. Everybody knows, you know, you can grab them and fire it up and off you go. But there's also a bias on the other side, presumably on the retailers to go digital. How do you bridge that sort of those different desires, consumer versus retail?
As you mentioned, that kind of, do we have a bias one way or the other? And the answer is no. So inside of retail, we're even coming up with the concept of an endless aisle. So let's say we put a QR code up in a section that would be related to where gamers might shop. Maybe it's energy drinks, and we put a QR code to say, get your gift card here. And you can literally do that digital, be able to make that purchase right from your phone. We still know where the credit's going to go back to the retailer. The consumer has a really fun experience to be able to go, that was neat, I got a gift card, boom, and I'm done. And so this concept of QR codes and codes across the board, we think inside of retail, not just outside, but inside of retail is going to be a big one. And we are seeing retailers across the spectrum embrace that. And QR codes, not just for purchasing gift cards, but now QR codes to be able to make a purchase at the point of sale.
Let me ask you, I just want to make sure I'm understanding this. So you're saying, so if I want to gift my friend or relative or colleague, whatever, you know, a 12 pack of energy drinks, because I see them enjoy. Now I can go, I see them in the supermarket. I'm like, oh yeah, you know, Bill loves these things. Is that what we do? And I scan the thing and it says gift Bill, or you know, what are we talking about?
That, but we're thinking more about product tie-ins. So let's just say you're there and you think, oh, you know what would be fun is, you know, I'm buying this, but I also want to give an Xbox gift card, or I want to top up my Xbox account. I can do that via QR code right there. So we're talking about those places where there's unique tie-ins. Maybe it's in the greeting card aisle where you're at the greeting card. We know they're buying a birthday present. Maybe they don't want to walk to the other section. They're buying that there. We say scan and put your digital gift card and be able to include that as part of the greeting card. So we're looking at those tie-ins as well.
I guess, you know, the other thing I just wanted to talk just on the macro level, and I know you guys are in a unique position, you know, that you just want to see a rising tide will lift all boats. Inflation is driving prices up. That's going to be good for business. So what are your concerns about the holiday season? Like, you know, what would be an obstacle to things going smoothly?
Look, I think the big one is the continued underinvestment and kind of focus on omni-commerce. As so we see brick and mortar. I would still say we still see a problem inside of our typical retail environment where, you know, small percentage of companies, probably, you know, small double digits, are really prepared. I think the last time I looked at it was somewhere around 18% are really ready for this digital shift. That's a really small number, and it's something that concerns me. I would say the ones that are going to win are those that have truly embraced the mobile phone, the desktop, the retail, and created that seamless environment. I think my concern is those who continue to underinvest and really be thinking about where they need to go and where their consumers going, and look no further than this next generation of Gen Z and millennials. When I give a number of saying over 60% have intent to purchase digitally, if you're not in that environment, and you're not, by the way, it's not just in that environment, but doing that environment well. So a consumer does not want to type in all of their information 17 times. They want it to be instant fill in. They want it to purchase to be quick. They want it to be seamless. If we see that in retail, we see winners, and we'll see them continue to drive that. As we see areas where they've underinvested or they're hanging on to purely retail, I think they're going to be missing out on a huge segment. And then I think the next one is really how they focus on the ever-changing tides related to payments. I mean, we're seeing that happen. Consumer wants choice. The world of the big three purchases being made, my kids don't use those. They're looking to be able to pay with PayPal. They're looking to pay with Venmo. They want to pay with their digital wallets. And so we're seeing that happen. So I would say technology continues to be the one area I get concerned about. And then look, I think we all have a certain amount of concern as we're watching the global pandemic continue to be here. None of us expected this. We were hopeful that this was going to be a COVID-free holiday, and I think the fact is it's not going to be. So we're going to continue to be watching that really carefully.
Yeah, it's we've been saying gift card, the whole thing, but half the world calls them prepaid cards, I guess.
Yeah.
So we'll just let that slide. As far as I won't hold you down to the David Letterman top 10 list, but in the Narlinger Gift Card Hall of Fame, like what is the pantheon of gift card? Who does it best? Maybe give me a top three, whatever you're comfortable with. But who's the benchmark?
Look, I think it's hard. We talked about folks like Starbucks who have found a way to not only have a digital gift card, but to be able to use that on an ongoing basis. I think they do it very well. I think there's lots of companies that do it well. We have a great relationship with Roblox, and watching them be able to connect with their customers. And it's not we say gift card. It's a branded currency. This is their name, their branded currency. I think they do it well. I think the gaming companies do this incredibly well. No doubt about it, because you have the ability to gift, but also the ability for self-use and topping up subscription services. I think they're doing very well. I think a lot of the entertainment businesses are doing really well. I think Disney's going to continue to really drive not just that card for use for a gift, but how do I use that card as a prepaid instrument on any of the properties, be able to use it as my room key, be able to use it as the entertainment device. I think they're very, very strong. And then I think I'm very impressed right now with how restaurants are coming together, global and local, recognizing that they shouldn't have one brand. It shouldn't just be their brand. I think that's what they're noticing is choice, and they win by that rising ships. I think they're seeing absolutely a focus on that. And I'd say they're doing quite well. And I think they've leaned into the concept of, hey, we need to really get people back eating in restaurants. What we were saying, only 30% of consumers are going to eat in a restaurant in the next couple of months because of concerns. They've got to bring people back to the industry. And I think they're doing a nice job coming together in a really smart way to be on multi-brands, bringing in local, et cetera. So I think that's a tough question, but I think those are the ones that come to mind.
Sure. And you mentioned a branded currency. My brain goes, what about cryptocurrency?
Yeah, it's a great question. So there's two that we're watching very carefully. Crypto is certainly one of them. When we did our study, we were a little surprised how we saw payment intent, and we're seeing that 4% of consumers actually want to purchase their digital gifting with crypto. And we've been doing some testing on some of our sites to accept crypto. And that one we're starting to see rise. We're also going to be launching the very first gift card, so you can actually have a card that you can actually make purchase with, for crypto. I can't release the name yet, but excited to share that with you when the time comes.
Buy the actual currency itself?
But we'll hang a gift card. You'll be able to make that purchase, give the gift of crypto to someone.
Got it.
So not to be able to pay with crypto, but to gift crypto.
Right.
And so we think that's going to be fantastic. We're excited about bringing that to the market. And we're focused. So that's been terrific. I think the other one you didn't.
Do you have a time frame ballpark?
Probably first quarter. First quarter see that hit the market.
All right.
So we're expecting a big shot for dads and grads for next year, as well as birthdays, and then we'll certainly see next holiday season. We think this will be a real mover for us.
Cool.
And then I think the other one we're starting to see pop up in across the globe is buy now, pay later. So this concept of being able to buy, as we start to see challenges with just making ends meet, buy now, pay later is continue to increase in the purchase intent. So we've been doing some testing on our sites again to see if consumers are interested in a buy now, pay later. And we're seeing as much as 10% of the consumers would like to have that solution. That's early stage, so I think that'll continue to grow. So we're going to.
How does that work? If I got $100 on a gift card, why do I buy now, pay later, or do I just like make the first payment, or how does that work?
Think about what we were talking about earlier. If a consumer is really going to buy 15 gift cards this holiday season, you're talking about a sizable purchase, and be able to do that. But to be able to do that in installments for 3 or 4 payments, utilizing a buy now, pay later service, that is fantastic for them. Gotcha. And so that's where we're seeing them go, look, I could do all of my holiday shopping, pick up all of my gift cards, and now be able to do a buy now, pay later solution is fantastic. So we're going to make sure that we're there for that consumer as well.
Do you guys collect that money, or does the retailer? That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, we're partnering right now with a couple of companies, and we'll talk more about that as we release it. But we're going to be partnering with some of the customers to really be able to deliver that. That we're leveraging the network in our name, Blackhawk Network, to bring together all of these folks to continue to support that.
Awesome. Well, I give you an A for your branding, your promotional work, and your leading the witness. You got us. We got you booked at least twice now to talk about future announcements. Is there anything else that any summary thoughts? Anything we overlooked as we come into what we're going to be calling the year of the gift card, perhaps?
I think it's going to be a strong year for gift cards. We're excited about it. We're seeing globally it becoming a really good solution for consumers regardless of channel. I think it's going to be our focus. And the next time we talk, we should talk about what it looks like in a post-pandemic and where we see recovery of some of these brands that maybe are, the entertainment industry, I think is going to be a huge benefit. And so we'll talk a little bit more about that. But no, I think we're excited about this holiday season. We're excited about the digital shift and then really focus back on making sure we execute well this year.
Awesome. Brett Narlinger, always good to see you. Thanks so much for your insight, head of global commerce at Blackhawk. Happy holidays. We'll talk to you soon.
Happy holidays. Take care, Matt.
Cheers.